Hi guys, it's Jen here, trying again on this voice narration. I am unfortunately having a slightly broken microphone situation, and previously I had a conflict between my headphones and my mic. So I'm really hoping that the third time is the charm here. So because I've done this so many times, I'm going to apologize if I am stumbling all over myself. But last week I had prepped this side. You can see that at the very beginning of the video from last week. So I had pulled out cards that had yellow and blue and pops of red in them because that worked really well with my photos. So because this particular spread, none of the cards have red on them yet, I started immediately with a red title for my date. I used October afternoon, and now I'm using some pink fresh numbers because the October afternoon ones did not have any numbers on them, which really sucks. I hate when they do that. They do alphas with no numbers. So I'm just putting them away and trying to keep my area tidy and just using my Project Life pen there. So I'm going to pull out some enamel, or not enamel, my goodness, I did this the last couple times, some flair. Hopefully I can figure out the names of embellishments here. And these ones had sort of that really pretty sort of tealy blue that was in the cards that I already had pulled out. So I'm going to use that one that says captured, and it's works really well with the cameras that are already on that really cool card. And I believe that card is from a hip kit Project Life kit. I think their very first one that they did this year, and I really liked it, and just it didn't end up getting used, so I'm happy to be using it now. And I pulled out that yellow piece because there was no yellow on there, and that's from a cut apart from my Citrus Twist July kit. So all of these labels that I'm using here are from that cut apart, and I apologize, they weren't cut yet, so there's a little bit of cutting on here, but this spread still goes actually really quickly. I only sped it up to 3 times speed, and it's still only 11 minutes long, so that means that this took me only slightly longer than 30 minutes to get done. And that's really quick, but part of that too is that I had prepped this ahead of time, so the photos were cut and the cards were picked, and that was part of the reason why I did that, prepping 2 weeks at once, because it would make this second spread go so much faster and didn't really take me that much longer for prep. So I'm just looking through, and this one in particular, that little tag, the label I should say, works really well because it's got that muted red but also has a blue grid, so it pulls a bit of blue into that bottom. And I decided to swap that out because there's that yellow on the date card, and then with the yellow on that one on the bottom left there, it just was too much yellow all in a column. But also the 4x6 photos, I think, balance themselves out a lot better being across from each other, diagonal like that. And because I moved that photo of the lake over to the bottom right, I also moved that label over to the bottom right. I just think that balances it out and kind of frames out that corner, if that makes any sense. So I'm working on that card there, and I am looking for a blue arrow. I really wanted an arrow that the tail of it started at the here we go, and then the pointy part, the head of the arrow, either pointed to the start here or to the photos, and I can't find one. But you know how when you get an idea in your head and you're stuck on it and you really want an arrow? So I'm going to search for a few minutes here, and although with it being sped up, it doesn't seem quite as bad as it felt like in person. But I really want a blue arrow. So I'm going to look some more. I'm going to pull out some more embellishments from my nice embellishment kit in front of me, and it's not working. But then I'm going to have an aha moment and remember that I have metal paper clips. So here is a dark blue paper clip, which looks fine, but then I find a lighter blue one, which is better, and then I find the light blue small one that's going to go exactly where I want, and I am actually extremely pleased with how that looks. That's exactly it's not my initial thought, but I'm very pleased with how that looks. And I just did a little swapperoo with some of those photos because I realized that that group photo goes with that picture at the lake. So it was just kind of putting them one above each other, although nobody is ever going to know that, right? So my plan had been, and I believe I did last week, was to pull these cards and do them more individually on the camera for two reasons. One, so it's a bit easier for you to see what I'm doing, and two, so that I'm not always knocking everything with my arm as I'm trying to work. I forgot to do that this time, so you should be seeing that from me in the future. I just think that it works a little bit better, and you can let me know what you think of that as well, with me just pulling the cards and doing a couple at a time. But I just pulled some washi tape there and added it to that card with my kids sitting on that little train, because there was some blue and red arrows. I thought that kind of helped pull a little bit more red in, although there's lots of red on there from the train. And that photo, I made my kids sit for that photo because it's a train that looks just like a train they used to play on when they were really little, and I wanted a photo of how big they are now sitting on it. And that other one there, really quickly, I just put a little snippet of a yellow label because it's a group shot and it was already busy enough without adding too much more embellishment. So I'm working on the top left. I was going to use the same washi, but it just seemed too busy. So I'm pulling out some yellow here. I believe that's from Bella Boulevard, and I'm going to use that just to frame out this label a little bit. The red just sitting there just wasn't working for me, so I just added that behind it and add a little bit more yellow as well. I'm just putting all those away. And here I'm just going to add some journaling, keeping this one pretty simple, keeping the focus on the photos, which is what I try to do usually. Let's see here. So now I am very close to being finished. I said this is a quick layout. I'm going to add some more journaling here. And then the last thing that I'm going to do is add some enamel dots. And I'm just going to use the dots in the colors that I was trying to pull in. So the blue and the red and the yellow. And I have to go away here and look up the name of the lake. I'm back. The magic of video editing. And I'm still trying to use that. It says #family-trip. I've been trying to use it all summer. It just hasn't ever been working in the spots that I kind of have left to use it in. It will get used. I think that's from like a May or June kit, and I just keep moving it from kit to kit. But that's the nice thing, is you can do that. So here you can see I'm just adding some blue ones up there. I'm going to add some blue down here, and you can see that one yellow giant enamel dot left on that particular sheet, and probably the reason why it's left is because it's so huge. So I'm actually going to run it off the edge and try to cut it. It doesn't really work very well, I must say, but it did make it slightly smaller. I just don't really like how it looks, but you know how you kind of like, I really want to use this last enamel dot, so it's on there. I'm not switching it now. I used just red ones on that yellow card because there was no red really in the photos or on that card, and so I really wanted to pull some red into that one and make it look more deliberate. It's really a really bright card, and I kind of had second thoughts about using it, but I used it anyways. So here's the last thing that I'm gonna do, and I apologize, my head is in the way for a whole bunch of this. I wanted to pull some more blue in, and so I wanted to color just a few of these little cameras. I'm going to use these watercolor pencils. I believe they're either from Stamping Up or Close to My Heart. They look like Close to My Heart. They're all mixed up together there. And yeah, my head's in the way, sorry. I'm just going to do an outline of the area that I want to color, and I'm going to use just 3, so 1 full one and 2 partial ones. And I'm really sorry because you can't see most of this process. But what I'm doing is I'm using a water pen, and I'm using the pen and I'm touching the edge where the color is, where the pencil is, and I'm using that and then pulling it in towards the center. So I'm just basically getting the color wet and then pulling it in. So then it creates this kind of nice shadowed look. And I used to do quite a lot of card making. It's not something I really do now, but this is a technique that I think looks really pretty, especially on really nice stamped images. And I thought it would look kind of neat on here, so that it wasn't a really solid. So I think you can kind of tell, you can see I'm going on the edges and then pulling it towards the middle. You can see the best, I think, right there, you see. Hopefully that makes sense. And then I just added that nice little pop of blue on that card, and I'm just pulling off a little bit of the extra water there so that it doesn't dribble color where I don't want it to be. And I'm going to pull the whole spread back together here for you, and then I'm going to bring each card up so that you can have a look. So I hope that you enjoyed. Apologies again for this one being late again this week. Just it's a new program, and you know, a little bit of user struggle there. I also had the issue with just showing you the shading there. A little bit of struggle with my microphone not working, and yeah. Anyways, hopefully next week this will be much smoother and will be up on time. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will talk to you again real soon. Bye.